Hi everyone, welcome back to another week of Ag Literacy with Kayla. This week's book, Plantzilla, written by Jerdine Nolen, illustrated by David Catrow. June 8th. Dear Mr. Lester, I would like to bring Plantzilla home for the summer. All year long I sat next to him. I brushed him. I watered him. I kept his growth charts. Plantzilla is the only plant I care that much about. Besides, he might miss me over the vacation and wonder where I am. I want Plantzilla. Only Plantzilla. Please. I have had so much fun with him in 3rd grade. I can hardly wait until next year. Your new, soon-to-be 4th grade student, Mortimer Henryson. June 8th. To whom it may concern. Mortimer Henryson has permission to bring home a plant over summer vacation. We are happy to provide all the care a plant would need to grow and thrive, as much sunlight does pour in through our windows, and there is more than enough water flowing from our clear crystal springs. We will be breathing a little easier now with all that extra oxygen. Don't you think this makes for the best kind of symbiotic relationship? Very truly yours, Mr. and Mrs. Henry Henryson. P.S. Mortimer does have his heart set on one plant in particular. He called it Plantzilla. Do I have that right? It does seem like an odd name for a plant. June 9th. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Henryson, I am delighted Mortimer has chosen Plantzilla. The plants are named based on their characteristics. The children nicknamed this one Plantzilla because Zillah sounds like cilia. As you are probably aware, cilia is a term used in botany to describe a hair-like material that can run along the margin or edge of a structure, such as a leaf, usually forming a fringe. Mortimer has taken charge of Plantzilla's care and development. I am sure he will want to continue this over the summer. Of course, there are cases where the fondness for these plants grows as well. Don't be surprised if you find it difficult to part with Plantzilla at summer's end. If this should happen, I am happy to tell you that adoption is not out of the question. Feel free to write or have Mortimer drop me a postcard if any questions should crop up, or just let me know how things are going. My address is Samuel G. Leicester, Plantonium Holiday Aloha Resort, Honolulu, Hawaii. Very truly yours, Samuel G. Lester, Science Teacher and Plant Program Coordinator, Strew Bricks Day School. P.S. Please be so kind to provide transportation for Plantzilla. These plants are not allowed on the bus. June 15th. Dear Mr. Lester, thank you for Plantzilla. Things are really going great. Plantzilla loves living here. I can tell. I just knew he would be happy. Remember when you said different plants have different growing preferences? That is so true. Wait until you see how Plantzilla is growing. The best news of all is that Plantzilla is beginning to eat real food, mostly meat. I'll keep my notes up and I'll write again soon. Your student, Mortimer H. June 25th. Dear Mr. Lester, remember when you told us caring for plants in this program gives you more benefits than you could ever imagine? That is so true. Plantzilla is so amazing. Wait until you see him. It's like he's more than alive. Sometimes all I want to do is water him, brush his hairs, and watch him grow. He seems to like it when I loosen the soil around the top of his pot. I could watch him all day. But Mother says I should be running around and playing outside. I wish I could bring Plantzilla along. To me, he's more than just a plant. Thank you so much for giving me the chance to show you how I can really care for Plantzilla. You may not even recognize him anymore. I love Plantzilla. Your friend, Mortimer H. June 28th. Dear Mr. Lester, I am so proud of Plantzilla. He is the growing king. It's just like you said, a little water and sunlight make all the difference in a plant's life. Father thinks Plantzilla is making too much a difference in my life. Mother thinks Plantzilla is taking up too much of my time. I told them he needs me. They have been marking the days on the calendar until the end of summer. I wish the summer with Plantzilla would never end. I think he feels that way too. Your student, Mortimer. June 30th. Dear Mr. Lester, things got a little weird yesterday. The police think the robbery was an inside job. You have to tell Mother it has nothing to do with Plantzilla. She will listen to you. Earlier, her prize-winning Chihuahua is gone. Mother shrieked and fainted when she found Grolier's diamond collar in Plantzilla's leaves. I told her maybe Grolier just went for a little walk. Please write to her and tell her that Plantzilla doesn't eat pets. She'll listen to you. She thinks I've been spending too much time with Plantzilla. She thinks I brush him too much. But I need to do these things. Plantzilla needs me. Mortimer. July 10th. Dear Mr. Lester, I felt I had to write to you. I knew of nowhere else to turn. If I had not seen these things with my own eyes, I would not have believed it. Plantzilla is able to move on its own. What is more, Plantzilla has developed an insatiable craving for meat. Cooked meat of any kind. I am worried about Mortimer. He has become very attached. Although we are pleased to see Mortimer so motivated. Plantzilla has caused a great strain in our household. We Henrysons are not giver-uppers, but I am sure we are not the right family to continue with this program. I would be happy to have Plantzilla overnighted to you, at no cost to you at all, of course. Very worriedly yours, Mrs. Henryson. July 11th. Mr. Lester, things have gotten worse. My parents wanted me to write to you. They are not happy at all. Last night at dinner, they talked about putting Plantzilla out in the backyard until school starts. But Father is worried about the neighbors. I told them the pot roast was all my fault. Plantzilla was so hungry. Mother is afraid for Grolier. I know he just went for a very long walk. Could you write to them? I know they would listen to you. Tell them not to worry. Tell them to let Plantzilla stay. Father brought a shipping box home from his office. They want to send Plantzilla to you in the overnight mail. I don't think they can. Plus, Plantzilla doesn't want to go. Please write soon and explain everything to them. Hurry! Mortimer. July 23rd. Dear Mr. Lester, I am at a loss for where to begin. Events of the summer leave me quite baffled and searching for the proper way to put this. A metamorphosis has occurred in Plantzilla. He is no longer what he was, and we are not sure what he is turning out to be. Henry, Mr. Henryson, and I were wondering if it is ever possible for a plant to take on human characteristics. I know this sounds more than strange, but we were wondering if a species such as Plantzilla might show feelings. Henry wonders if I may have offended Plantzilla, not taking part in grooming his cilia. Despite that, Plantzilla shows enormous caring for us. In assessing these developments, we wonder if perhaps some of the causes of these changes rest with our Mortimer. When we consider all of the time, careful attention, and nurturing he has lavished on Plantzilla, It leaves us with one conclusion alone. When you give a living thing love, you never know where it will lead. We have grown very attached to Plantzilla. Whatever will we do without him? Very truly yours, Mrs. Henry Henryson. July 27th. Dear Mrs. Henryson, FYI, Mortimer's letter of July 11th and your letters of July 10th and 23rd were forwarded to me at my home. I am so sorry that this plant program has taken such a toll on your family and you. Please accept my deepest apologies. Now that I have returned, feel free to let me know the best time to collect Plantzilla. In response to your question, in all my reading, research, and study, I have found nothing that backs up the notion that plants have feelings. However, I have said to my students time and time again, caring for plants in this program will give you more benefits than you could ever imagine. And yes, in my opinion, you may look no further than your son as to the benefits of Plantzilla's experiences. Please let Mortimer know I am looking forward to seeing all of his good works. Very truly yours, Samuel G. Lester, Science Teacher and Plant Program Coordinator. August 2nd. Dear Mr. Lester, the best thing has happened. Plantzilla bloomed. I think we all like seeing the pretty pinkish, purplish blossoms sticking right out of his top. He smells good, too. Mother wonders if Plantzilla wouldn't mind a visit from her gardening club. I think Plantzilla would like that very much. Mortimer. August 6th. Dear Mr. Lester, sometimes I think Plantzilla wants to talk to me. Do you think he could? It would be awesome. Truly awesome, with a capital A. I want to adopt Plantzilla. He's everything I could ever want in a plant and more. I have to talk to my parents first, but I wanted you to know. Mortimer. P.S. Good news. Rollier came back last night. August 12th. Dear Mr. Lester, Mortimer was right all along. I do not know how we will ever get along without Plantzilla. We would like it very much if Plantzilla could live with us forever. He is everything we could ever want in a plant, and more. Under the circumstances, I think it is the right thing to do. Last night, when we had a family meeting to discuss whether or not to adopt Plantzilla, we heard a great commotion coming from the part of the house where Plantzilla has taken his rooms. We rushed to him right away. There was nothing out of the ordinary, except the attached letter. We found it resting on Plantzilla's middle leaves. It seems to be addressed to you. We wonder if you could fill in some details, or perhaps you would just like to leave what is there between us and the paper it is written on. Ever so sincerely yours, in friendly hopefulness, the Henry Henrysons. Attachment. August 11th. Dear Lester, thank you. Me home in this place nice. People good. I will stay with them forever. Plantzilla. August 14th. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Henryson, in view of the circumstances, it would appear that Plantzilla has found the perfect home. Yours very truly, Samuel G. Lester, Science Teacher and Plant Program Coordinator. P.S. Do please keep in touch. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed today's book reading of Plantzilla. I'm going to briefly go over some resources with you guys. This is not necessarily an Ag in the Classroom book, so you won't find any information on the website. But if you're interested in some additional things that you can do at home, I do have some things that I can email to you guys. There are definitions of different parts of the plants, kind of what was talked about in the book. there is a worksheet that has the diagram. And then there is an activity that you can do. Cultivate and harvest a crop of sprouts in a mini hydroponic system. So if that's something that you are interested in, please feel free to reach out to me and I can send that along to you. My email address, as well as Eileen's, is down at the bottom. Stay tuned for Eileen's video on Monday. And before I end this, I just want to announce our plant to plate challenge very quickly. So take on a new hobby this spring and learn to garden. If you've ever been interested in gardening, this is the ideal challenge to get you started. Simply choose a recipe you would like to cook and grow 2 of the necessary ingredients. When submitting your entry, be sure to include your process or recipe, what plants you are growing, and what you will be growing them in. Try to use as many New York State products as possible. So you will also see the rules below, as well as some possible recipes. So we just ask that if you do want to sign up for this challenge, just send me an email and I will mark you down. And from there, you should be set. Just continue to update us. Then with your recipe, you will send that on an entry card for me, due by August 15th. For those kids who are 4-H kids and they are already registered, you guys can do this project, and if you used all New York products, then you can enter it in the Scatticoke Fair, and I've put that information down below. It is Section F, Food and Nutrition, Class 15. So, with that being said, if you have any questions, if you want the resources, if you would like to participate in our Plant to Plate Challenge, just send me an email and we will get you all set. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another week of Ag Literacy with Kayla, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye.